Hey everybody, and welcome to the Lakelands Football Show. As always, Ethan and Andrew here to talk some football. It's getting a little cooler out there. We're a lot closer to the end of football season than we are to the beginning of it. But the football matchups have been getting a lot better. Playoffs are right here, and we can all smell it. I just feel like each week the games have gotten better, and that's what leads to our game of the week. No shocker, a Region 2 2A clash. The biggest rivalry in the Lakelands by far. 96 at Advil. Can't wait.
This one always gets my juices going a little bit. These two teams aren't really fans of each other. They go at it in almost every sport. It's always seemingly for the region championship or for the 1-2 seeds in the playoffs. They're pretty good in every sport, pretty competitive. And like I said, they don't really like each other, so it always proves for an intense matchup. Coming into this year, 96 has won the last 4 meetings against Advil, which is the longest winning streak in series history for the Wildcats.
Whoa.
A series that Advil dominates, having won 35 of 47 meetings. So 96 has got a lot of bragging rights going right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're both coming off wins. Advil, a big one over Batesburg-Leesville. They have yet to be beat at Heights Stadium this year. And me personally, I don't see it happening on Friday night. I think the Panthers are going to finally exact a little bit of a revenge against 96.
I'm going to have to differ with Andrew there. I feel like 96 has been hacking at big opponents all year, trying to break through that threshold. They're not going to be up any more than they will be for this game. So I'm probably going to pick 96 in this one.
I mean, some of those seniors at Advil, like Dewey DuBose and Joseph Battle, who've played for 4 years, have never beaten 96. They're not going to leave Advil without a win against those guys.
But many good games going around in the Lakelands. I'm actually going to be at Fox Creek at McCormick. McCormick's riding a 4-game win streak. They're 3-0 in their region right now, and it's a really neat situation because Russ Snyder, McCormick's current coach, was Fox Creek's head coach last year and led them to a region title. So that's going to be a fun game to see just because there's a lot going on for McCormick here. They really kind of control their own destiny. At best, they're the outright region champs with a win here. At worst, they still have a good shot to win region. McCormick's been hot. I'm going to take McCormick in this one. I'm expecting it to be a really good game because I'm sure Fox Creek wants to come into town and give their old coach a lesson.
It's got to be an awkward matchup because Russ probably knows every single one of those kids on Fox Creek.
Absolutely.
So it's got to be a little weird for him, but I'm with you. I think Mateo Durant and company are going to be too much.
Yeah. Also, just, shifting to our big boy schools, Greenwood is traveling to Easley. Greenwood's still kind of struggling a little bit. Lost to TL Hanna. That's not a very good look considering the record between those two in the last however many years it's been. So, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, Greenwood has to get a win this week. Some of those earlier losses in the year, they're the top 10 teams against some of the best teams in the state. They're not necessarily expected, but, they're losses you can handle. Losing to TL Hanna for the first time since 1997, that's going to be a little bit harder to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been a long time since Easley's beat Greenwood as well. So Greenwood's really going to have to come ready to play against a tough Easley team. They're always tough. They're improved this year. Greenwood has to get a win. I think they have to win 2 of the next 3 to make the playoffs. So their backs are against the wall. I still think the Eagles have potential to turn it around. So I'm going to go with Greenwood again this week, but I'm not as confident about that as I was last week.
Yeah. Also, Berea is going to be coming into town to take on Emerald. Emerald had a bad game a couple weeks ago, did okay last week. I guess what did you think of the stats and stuff that we saw from that last weekend with Emerald?
Emerald played a little bit improved Travis Rest team, still pulled out a win against a team, playing Berea this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team that everyone in the region has beaten so far.
Yeah.
Travis Rest, Eastside, Berea's way down, so I think Emerald's trending in the right direction heading into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're going to add another victory tonight against the struggling Berea team. And that leads us right into Another team that's kind of struggling, that's in the Lakelands tonight in Crescent, they're really beat up with injuries. They're at Saluda, who's coming off a big win against Drum Thurmond. I think Saluta's going to add another win under their belt.
You know, unfortunately, Crescent is just catching the bad part of the stick in the toughest region in the state. And, you know, who knows how good of a team and a record they could have in any other region. But in this one, it's just been a hard year for them. And I know I talked to Coach Murdoch last week, and, you know, they've had a lot of injury problems. Malik Brooks is not going to help that situation. No, that is a scary man. And I say man.
Let's quickly breeze through these last couple games. Common Falls is at Ridge Spring Minetta. The Flashes just do not have the bodies, I think, to hang with the Trojans. Dixie's at Whitmire. Whitmire is much improved this year. Dixie's still struggling. I think Whitmire gets that one. And then Ware Shoals travels to Southside Christian, which is not a good matchup for the Hornets. I see the Sabres pulling out a win in that one. And for the last game of the week, Carolina Academy is at Greenwood Christian. Is this going to be another mauling by the Hawks?
You know, this is another important game for Greenwood Christian, but I think they definitely established that they are probably one of the favorites to make a run at the state this year and skis at 8-man. I can't imagine anybody slowing them down because nobody has. So I'm going to take Greenwood Christian in this one. And that's it for the show this week. As always, please check out indexjournal.com and see what we got going on as far as stories.
Good stuff.
Check us on Twitter. We're going to be tweeting throughout the games. IJ Ethan Joyce, IJ Andrew Mackey, our sports editor, IJ Michael Christopher, will be at the Emerald game. So you Emerald fans tune in for that one. And give some props to cameraman Billy here. Forgot his monopod, and he's been holding the camera very steady.
So if it's a little shaky, don't blame us.
I got to say, the wrist strength has looked good. So always, #Lakelands football. Thanks a lot for tuning in. See you next week.